Hi, welcome to part 2 of our neutral spine series. Remember, neutral spine is referring to our ideal posture, supporting the natural curves of our spine. Refer back to part 1 of this series where we go over establishing your neutral spine in detail. For now, let's go down onto our mats and warm up. We'll go back to our, we call it dead bug series, where we're lying on our back. We'll do a few deep breaths with some lumbar spine movement to establish our neutral and our pain-free ranges. So on your inhale, remember your ribs expand wide and go into the big anterior tilt with the large space between your back and your mat. Then on your exhale, as you soften your breastbone down, slide those ribs together and down, push your low back into the mat, sink your belly in, shoulders stay back, chin stays down, and you're doing all of this without using those legs. So let's do that one more time. Inhale to rock forward, and exhale to rock back. Finding your abdominals, relaxing your glutes and legs, keeping all 10 toes on the mat, all 4 corners of your feet. We tend to roll out or roll in. You also want to have your knees in a straight line. Kneecaps aim up towards the ceiling rather than inward or out to the sides. Now let's establish your neutral spine. Here we have 2 options. We can keep our head down, or we can put our towel behind our head for that lift of your head off the mat, which would probably assist in getting more abdominals and less neck in most of the bad postural shapes. All right, let's bring those legs up to tabletop position. Inhale to prepare. Exhale and lower your right leg down. Remember, your ribs stay against the mat and your belly stays in. Inhale, bring it up. And exhale, lower your left leg. Don't forget the lower abdominal band. You want to feel that. And inhale up. And exhale. And up. So try not to go too fast here. Give yourself the same pace as a full breath so you can get a full abdominal contraction. Let's do one more set. Exhale down. Inhale. And exhale, left leg. And bring it up. All right, so we have another option here. We are going to go into a little tiny hip lift. Now, especially if you tend to have pain while standing, you may need to have a little bit of support of your hips lifted. So you can take your towel and kind of bunch or roll it up and put that under your hips while you're working. It's just enough to keep you out of your low back. Or if you have one of those small exercise balls or these little 4-inch balls you can get at Target or Walmart or any of the toy stores, and lift your hips and put the ball there. The ball is even more challenging because as you take your feet off the floor, you can wobble, and you don't want to wobble off the ball, so you have to kick those abs in here. So let's add on. Inhale to prepare, and exhale, lower down. You'll find that you can get more abdominals this way. However, for some people, this may be uncomfortable, and just go back to keeping your hips down on your mat. All right, one more set. Exhale down, and up. And last one. Ribs connect, slide down towards the hips, belly draws in. Let's make it a little more challenging this time. Press your feet and knees together. Exhale, lower down. Probably can't go quite as far because you've just doubled the resistance going into your abs. And inhale up. And exhale. So remember, we talked about thigh hip dissociation, being able to move your thighs without your pelvis moving. If your pelvis moves, you'll probably feel discomfort in your back. So that's your cue to not go quite as far. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, sink the belly into the navel. Keep your shoulders back, ribs connected, and chin down. And let's do our last one here. Exhale to lower down. And inhale to bring it up. All right, let's remove the ball. Bring your feet down, remove the ball, and extend your legs all the way out. So when you're in this position, let's work to keep your knees straight. Legs aren't on slack. Everything's working. So legs together, even your toes are reaching right now. Really point your feet. Bring your arms up. Reach for the ceiling. Shoulder blades come off the mat. Then push those shoulder blades down into the mat and hold them there. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, reach your arms overhead. Now, what will happen is if we don't use our abs, our ribs just flared up there. So, bring the ribs down. Inhale, arms up, shoulder blades down. And exhale, reach overhead, connect the ribs, push those ribs down, pull your belly in. So your goal is to not go back as far as you can. Your goal is how far can you go back without your ribs popping up, without letting your obliques let go. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, chin down, shoulder blades, ribs sting against the mat, elbows straight, knees straight, legs reaching in length. Inhale, up, shoulder blades down against your mat. Last one here. Exhale, ribs slide down towards the pelvis. Even get that sense of drawing your hip bones up towards your ribs. And inhale, and bring your arms down to your sides. All right, so from here, let's roll to the side. Remember, you're going to get into that habit. Better to get up and down that way. All right, so now we're going to get our towel and use it for our upper back. Now, if you have these TheraBands at home, you've ever bought one of these or were given these from a physical therapist, these are great. You can use these. I love these. The exercise we're about to do is you can fold these in two so you have greater resistance. If you're at home, you don't have a TheraBand, use your towel. Last episode, we used it to stretch our hamstrings. This episode, we're going to use it to actually strengthen our upper back. So, what I want you to do here is grab that towel so that your hands are a bit wider than your shoulders and bring your arms overhead. So, the movement here, bring that towel up towards the sky and feel how your shoulder blades move up into your ears. And then slide the shoulder blades back down out of your ears. So, moving a lot of muscle here. You know, your shoulder blades do not have a bony attachment to your body. They're just attached back there, floating around, attached by a lot of muscle. So it's sometimes those muscles get so tight or weak, we can't move those scapula very much. So we're just trying to be aware of moving those shoulder blades up and down. Let's do it one more time. Shrug up and pull it down. Now bring the towel just in front of you and repeat that same motion. Shrug up and pull down. Now, when you pull down, don't over pull and over depress because that causes just as much stress as over elevation. So shrug up and gently place them down. One more time. Shrug up and gently place them down. Now hold them down and reach forward and round your back. If I could turn sideways here, you're going to see my upper back's rounded, my chest is all contracted. Now, reverse that. Squeeze those shoulder blades back. And reach forward, sitting up nice and tall. And squeeze those shoulder blades together and down. Two more. Reach. And squeeze back. And last one. Reach. And squeeze back. All right, so let's add on to that. So, you're going to put them in their optimal place. Lift and sink down. Reach forward and pull back and hold them there. Back and down. Almost feel like you're plugging your scapula into your ribs. On your exhale, pull your band tight, 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 and keep your shoulder blades in that place. And release. How about that? And exhale, pull your belly in. Keep your spine lifted in its neutral place. So I have the benefit of sitting on a mat that's a few inches taller than the floor. So certainly you can be sitting in a chair for this or on a exercise ball. Let's do 5 more. Exhale, pull. Feel like you're squeezing those shoulder blades together a little bit. Not excessive though, and release. Exhale and release. So we're stabilizing what we call our shoulder stabilizers, or we're strengthening our shoulder stabilizers. When those are weak, that tends to give us all kinds of trouble in the shoulders and neck, and we get rounded upper back, and that translates to low back trouble. So we're strengthening those in a very supported position. All right, so now we're going to put this towel down And we're going to go on all fours, recreating that placement of the scapula. So all fours is just that, just like you were crawling on your hands and knees. It's a modified push-up position. So here you are. Your hands are under your shoulders. Your knees are under your hips. Now, when I first teach this, I see all kinds of positions, knees way under, sitting back on your hips, or having too far of a reach. Really and truly, the arms and the thigh bones are perpendicular, straight up and down. Now, just a reference, if you tucked your tailbone, you'd be in a posterior tilt. You've got a rounded back here. If you went into an anterior tilt, you'd sink like a horse with the saddle that was too heavy, right? You want to be in your neutral place. Everybody's going to be different depending on their postural habits, but your sacrum is flat. You could put a cup of coffee there and it's not going to fall off. So to stabilize that, you're not just here in a rest position. Your abs are connected, your belly's drawn in, and now find that placement of your shoulder blades that we just worked with the towel. Pull your shoulder blades down and squeeze them together ever so slightly. Not enough to make them wing up. All right, so maintain that. Tuck your toes under. Take a nice deep breath. And as you exhale, lift your knees up off the mat and hold this position. So things that may happen will go into whatever muscles are our tight muscles is what will happen. Neck will drop if our neck extensors are tight. Our pecs will tighten if our upper back's weak and our pecs are stronger. Oh, and all kinds of crazy things can happen there. How you guys doing here? All right, lower down. All right, let's do 4 more. Shoulders down, almost like you have heavy armpits. Inhale. Exhale, ribs slide down and connect. Belly draws in, shoulder blades stay down your back. Think about pressing the back of your neck up towards the sky. And release. And again, wrap your ribs, pull your belly in. I like to think you're pulling your shoulders wide, like you're pulling your collarbones out to the sides and squeezing down at the very bottom edge of your scapula. And release. And one more time. Exhale, shoulders connected, abs are in, trying not to tuck that tailbone. And release it. While we're here, let's do another exercise. Let's actually go down on our belly just to get a little prep for this one. So here you can rest your hand on your arms or get a little pillow. I'm going to stay lifted just so I can speak into this mic here. We're going to go into our hip extensors, maintaining neutral pelvis. So if you have ever done exercises like this, right, hip extensors, working the back of your legs and your hips, what's really happening is low back compression. So we want to find neutral. We want to be able to target the back of your thighs and your belly. So in this position, draw your belly button up and press your hip bones and pubic bone down into the mat. So it's as if you were doing a posterior tilt. Now it's out of your back and into your abs. Then lengthen and lift one leg and hold it. Your knee is straight. You feel your abs are still up, like you're tucking your tail under you if you were a dog. And release it down. And exhale, lengthen your leg and lift. And release it down. Let's do 4 more. Exhale to lift, scoop your belly, tuck your tailbone. Feel just your thigh and your hip, not your low back. And release. And exhale for 3. Hold it. Reach longer. Slide your shoulders back and down. And release. And 2 more. Exhale, lengthen and lift. And release. And last one. And release. Make it a little more challenging. Place those legs together. Inhale, scoop the abs. Posterior tilt, pubic bone down, belly up. And lift both legs. Keep that sense of tail tucking. Can't put it there and forget about it. It's like a current. It's got to keep going, keep going. And release. 4 more. Easy shoulders. And lift. Press those inner thighs together. And release. And exhale up for 3. and release. Again, you're always staying pain-free. Lift up for 2 and release. The stronger you get, the farther you're going to be able to move your arms and legs with time. And release. All right, so now let's come back up onto your hands and knees. And now you don't have the benefit of the floor to support you, so now you have to find it. You have to use your back and abs in order to extend your legs. So let's do that. Find your neutral. Shoulders are in their place, back and down. Ribs are wrapped. Neutral pelvis. Extend your leg back. Hold it. Pull your belly in. Squeeze that right butt cheek. And then lift your leg and hold. So you don't want to go here. Then you've just upset the apple cart, right? So reestablish it. Pull your belly in and lift. So your pelvis didn't roll into a rotation. It didn't go into an anterior tilt. It stayed flat. And you're trying to find that same intensity of muscle contraction in the back of your leg and your hips. And bring it in. And then left leg. So if you can just get here, that's fine. Just get here today. Eventually, you'll be able to lift your foot and go higher and higher. And bring it in. Let's do 4 more. Exhale, reach and lift. Shoulders back and down. And bring it in. Exhale, lengthen. Squeeze the butt cheek, pull your belly in. Still that sense of tail tucking or posterior tilt. And bring it in. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lengthen. Find the muscle groups that's supporting this, abs and glutes, and then lift. And bring it in. And last one. Exhale. Watch your head. Keep your ears over your shoulders. Don't let your head hang. And lift. And bring it in. Both legs. All right, that's a joke, but really we're going to go into a push-up position. So here we go. Shoulders plugged into the rib cage. Neck is long. Slide your right leg back. Squeeze into the hips and low abs. Hold that, and then slide your left leg back. Hold that position. Your ribs are wrapped. Watch for losing your upper back strength, right? Still using those shoulder stabilizers. Watch for winging. You don't want to pop those shoulder blades up. Push your heels back. Hold it. Reach wide across your collarbones. Pull your belly in. And bend your knees. And rest a minute. We're going to do 2 more sets. Each one, we're going to lift a leg. Certainly, that's for you to continue to progress. So here we go. You don't have to do them day 1. Here we go. Shoulders back and down. Back of your head pressing up towards the ceiling. Even you can slightly lean towards the pinky side of your hand, and that can help you get into this muscle group here that pulls that scapula down. Inhale. Let's go left leg first. Find the deep abs. Pull your belly in, connect your ribs, squeeze your glute. And right side. Hold it. Inhale. Exhale. Lift your leg using the same muscle group without dropping that hip or popping up. And place it down. Inhale. Exhale. Left leg slides up. Only to your point where you're only in the hams and glutes, not in your low back. Feel your low abs and bring it down. 1 more each time. Inhale. Exhale. Ribs wrap. Belly in. And bring it down. And last one. Inhale. And breathe out. And release it. And sit back. Okay. Very good. So building a lot of upper body strength while still supporting your neutral curves. Let's go on our side. So in series 1, we were down here supporting neutral spine, mouse house, lifting a leg, right? Certainly feel that this is still an acceptable place to be. If you're ready to progress, come up on your forearm. Your elbows directly under your shoulders. And now we're going to find those same stabilizers, twice as much weight almost on one shoulder. So you're going to lift up. Feel like you're pushing that shoulder down out of your ear, lifting your ribs. So you're actually in neutral, just on a slight tilt. Okay, let's lift the leg and lower down. So just like we did in the first part of the series, lifting from just the hip. We're not going to collapse as we lift. And lift 4. And exhale, lift 3. Keep that sense of pulling your shoulder blade down your back and opening wide across your collarbones. Here we can borrow from collapsing in and getting all tight there. Last one. Extend your leg, hold it, keep it hip level, and kick forward just in the hip. And then kick back. So, neutral spine. Imagine if your back was in a vise and it can't move, and here's that thigh-hip dissociation again. So we're putting a lot of things together. Shoulder stabilization, working our upper body strength, working our core, our abs, our back, using our hip, our legs. So we're using our trunk to stabilize so that we can isolate movement in the hip. Let's put your top leg down. Bend this bottom knee just a little bit more. Put your hand on your hip. Inhale. Make sure you're pulling your armpit down your waist. That's the feel here. And then lift your hip up off of the mat. Pull your belly in. Connect your ribs. And lower down. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Abs first. And lift. And release it down. And exhale for 2. Open those collars. Connect your ribs and lift. And release it down. And last one. Exhale to lift. And release it down. Let's go to the other side. So again, your choice in staying in mouse house or progressing on to this one-sided plank, we'll call it. Start with your knees bent. I like to start here so you can feel the contrast. This is a very dangerous place for your shoulder to be. Jamming that arm bone up into the top of the shoulder cavity. So think, push that shoulder down. Slide your scapula down your back and stay lifted. Nice square waist. Here we go. Lifting and lowering. The trick is to lift, right, without dropping the hip. And let's do it 4 more times. Shoulders wide. Think, squeeze those shoulder blades together just a little bit, not excessive. And 2 and 1. And hold it up. Extend your leg out. Inhale, kick forward without leaning back. That's another trick we can do to stay out of those core muscles. And reach. Your body's very smart. It'll find the easiest way to do something. Doesn't mean it's healthy for your body or an effective movement, but it gets the job done. So you're training your body how to do movements healthier in your daily life. And let's go 3. Working to keep your foot just about hip level. And 2, so remember your foot goes forward, but your body does not go back. Likewise, your leg goes back, but try to prevent forward lean. And last 2, stay lifted. Pull that shoulder blade down your back. And last 1. And quiver is good if you're shaking. I always get bummed out if I'm working out and I don't get shake. All right. Let's see here. Going into our hip lifts. Let's extend your bottom leg. Lift up. Open your collars. Connect your ribs. Inhale. Exhale. Re-engage. Squeeze that top butt cheek and lift. And release down. So watch that you don't go up and then try to tighten. Tighten first so you're supported before you put more resistance into those muscles. And release down. And let's go 4. And release. And exhale up for 3. And release. And 2. Abs first. Open your collars. And release. And last 1. Exhale to go up. And release it. All right, let's bring your knees in and prop yourself up. Final ab exercise, because what's a Pilates class without ending on a good abdominal exercise? You have a choice. You can do this without a ball, Or you can do it with a ball. With the ball, you're just going to place it right behind your sacrum and lean back ever so slightly. It's just a little cushy. It's almost like a little chair. You can try it with a folded towel. If not, you don't need it. All right, so you're leaning back and you're in neutral. Shoulders back so we're not slumped. All you're going to do is pull your low abs in ever so slightly. Tuck your tailbone under so it's not an arch. We're trying to get out of an arch. Hold this position. Now lift your breastbone a little bit, and that makes all the difference in the world. And then re-sink your belly button. Think you're creating all this great length between your ribs and the top of your pelvis, and sink your belly into that place. Hands are forward. Inhale. Oh, yes, let's put our feet and knees together. So as you exhale, take your right arm out to the side. Push your left hip back into the ball a little bit. And bring your arm forward. Inhale. Exhale, scoop your abdominals. Bring your left arm out to the side. Glance down at your torso. Make sure you didn't twist. And bring your left arm forward. Inhale. Exhale, ribs connect, belly in. Think shoulder blades back and down. And one more time. Inhale, length of spine. Abs sink in. And bring your arms in. And let's sit up tall. Thanks for joining us for part 2 of neutral spine. If you would like more information on neutral spine or exercises for back pain or exercises if you're an athlete and you want to prevent overuse injuries, or if you just want to get in great shape, call us at Pilates Core Training or check out our website that appears at the bottom of the screen. Thanks so much for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.